Hi guys, Peter Finch here, and today we're going to talk about how you can stop topping the golf ball. Now, topping the golf ball is when you make impacts with the ball above the equator line, hit straight down into the surface, and then bundles along the floor. Not a pleasant shot by any means, but it is something that affects a lot of people. Now, without seeing your swing, it's very hard for me to really give you definitive answers on why you might be topping the ball, but I can give you some pointers here that you can go through and tick them off your checklist basically and make sure that you're not doing one of them, and usually it is one of these things that you will be doing if you are topping the ball. Now, I've got my 7-9 here, but these rules generally do apply to most of the other clubs. The only thing you do need to be aware of is obviously ball position. So with the longer clubs, the ball positions here will be moved forwards, and that has a relation to something I'm going to talk about in a moment. Now, the first kind of real thing that you want to be doing if you are topping the shot, making sure that you're not doing, is making the real strides and making a real effort to ensure that your posture is fantastic at address and at impact. Because if you have changes in posture, so if the hips come forward and the spine angle lifts up, you're more likely to raise the club away from its preferred swing arc and make contact with the top edge of the ball. So it's set up normally with a 7-9 here. What you want to be doing is getting the ball pretty much just forward of centre, getting those hands ahead of the ball, the spine tilted over. Now, from this position, you want to be returning to a similar position, so with the weight on the left-hand side, the hips turning, but the hands are ahead, the sternum is still pretty much over the ball with that slight spine tilt. Also, and this is the real key if you're topping the ball, if your spine lifts upwards and if your hips come forward, that's when the problems are really going to occur. So the first thing to check is to make sure that your posture is rock solid, and I have done videos on posture in the past. Please check those out on YouTube if you do want a few more pointers on this. But just having a few practice shots where you're getting set up, your sternum is nicely over the ball, your hips are back, spine nice and straight, your hands are ahead of the ball at address, and as you come through and hit, it's focusing on keeping the chest over the ball whilst keeping the hips back, and this will help you maintain your spine angle. So it's getting set up, chest over the ball, sternum down, hips back, and maintaining that relationship at impact. So by allowing the chest to stay over and those hips to stay back, I can stay a lot more over the ball, if this makes sense. I'm not lifting up and away from it. This isn't so much a thing about lifting your head, which is ridiculous. You don't lift anything with your head, it's your body which moves your overall posture position. But if you can keep those hips back and the chest over it, there's a lot better chance of actually making a decent connection with the ball. If you were to stay in that correct posture, which is perfectly possible, staying in the correct posture, but your angle of attack, your swing arc bottoms out before the ball, this is another reason why you might be hitting that top shot. Now, to sort out angle of attack and to make sure that you're, well, using it correctly, with an iron shot, you want to be taking the ball first and then a divot. If you're hitting a top shot, you're not taking any divot at all. You're catching the top of the ball, so the ground is nowhere near the club. It's not even a consideration. So to make sure that you have that descending angle of attack, as we spoke about just previously about having those hands slightly ahead of the ball, you want to try and be returning him to that position at impact. So keeping the posture, yes, but also just having those hands returning ahead of the ball. Now, if the hands are returning ahead of the ball, what that should encourage is a slightly downward angle of attack. So the club travelling this way down through impact rather than this way through impact, which is when you'd catch the top of the ball. So, posture, yes, but just trying to allow those hands, in the GCT, trying to allow those hands to just return ahead of the ball at impact. So that's set up, posture nice and solid, but just trying to make sure that those hands are slightly ahead of the ball as you actually hit the shot. That's not a too bad one. Ooh, a long one as well. God, I am missing it pretty long at the moment. So, hands ahead, posture nice and solid. Now the last one is extension, because one of the main, and this is really one of the main reasons after the setup is good and the hands might be getting somewhere near ahead of the ball, extension of the arms is absolutely key. You see so many times when people top the ball, as they're coming through impact, the arms to really retract upwards and bring the club up and away from the ball. Now when that happens, One thing I haven't tried to do yet is hit a deliberate top shot, so we'll give that a go. So getting set up, those arms coming through, but then lifting up like this, and then catching the ball from the top. So, posture great. Sternum over the ball, absolutely awesome and fantastic. And by the way, remember, as that ball goes forward, the sternum will sit a little bit further behind. Please check out my videos on sternum position. Go a little bit more in depth into it. But if your setup's good, that sternum's nice and solid while the hips are back, but those arms are retracting, that's the next step. Really, really simple. Just feel like those arms are straightening down towards the target. Quick drill you can use on this to link everything together. Getting in that nice solid setup position. Take your backswing, but then hold your finish position halfway through. It's quite tough, so you're going to have to slow your swing down. But hold this position after you've hit, and you'll see here with my arms nice and extended, they've not buckled upwards towards the body, and I've managed to maintain the position of that extension. So if you were topping the ball, if you'd stop here, more than likely these arms are going to be pretty much retracted in towards the body. So last bit, that setup's good, hips are back, sternum's over the ball, those hands are ahead, I'm maintaining my posture, and then as I come through, I'm going to be extending those arms down towards the target. Oh, slightly dodgy ball. Go, get on that green. We're okay, we're all okay. Right guys, I hope that helps if you are hitting that top shot. Not a nice thing to do. Go through these checkpoints, tick them off one by one and see how you get on. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms and we will see you down here next time.